Shabbat Shalom. We're on page 10, words of welcome, Hine Matov.
Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, 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 shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom. What a pleasure it is to see you here. We are joined tonight by our third graders, and it is just what we call in Hebrew a machaya cantor. It means it's something that gives us life, and it makes us just feel grateful to be alive. Thank you all for being here, and thanks everybody who's joining us from home. We're so grateful to you that you're part of our Stephen Wise Temple family. This week's Torah portion talks about the Ner Tamid. And this morning, you might have gotten an email from me telling you about how we can become a Ner Tamid. And I was thinking about that beautiful teaching from our tradition as I watched our third graders, because each one of them is a light, and you could just see the radiance shining forth. So let's think both tonight as we worship together and throughout Shabbat, and really, it should be something we think about every day of our lives, how we can bring more light into the world. And it says Ner Tamid, which means it's something that we're supposed to do day by day by day. It's not enough to just light it once and imagine that, okay, we've done our job, we've filled the world with light, but it's something that we do each and every day. Speaking of lighting the lights, we're going to invite our amazing third grade teaching team to come forward. Allison and Shannon, Orly and Tammy, Lexi, Leora, Donna, Roni, Natalie, please come forward. I will invite everybody to rise as you're able. We're on page 2. And those of you joining us from home, please light your Shabbat candles right along with our incredible third grade teaching team.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher kidshanu mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
You can be seated. We're going to continue with one of our Psalms for the Sabbath day. It's from Psalm 96. And we're asked in this beautiful 3,000-year-old poem to sing a new song to God. And that might mean that we bring a new melody in. It might mean that we find a new intention, a new kavanah, a new way to bring light into the world. Let's join our verses together in song.
Shiru Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru
We're going to continue on page 20, Lechadoti, a 500-year-old piyut, a 500-year-old sacred poem that reminds us of how beautiful it is that we take one day in 7 and we dedicate it and devote it to community, to renewal, to rest, and to prayers of gratitude.
Lechadoti, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat ekabela. Lechadoti, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat ekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, ושם לא תפארת ולתהילה לחדותי לקראת כלה, בני שבת אקבלה. לחדותי לקראת כלה, בני שבת לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם ניסוחה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לחדותי לקראת כלה, בני שבת אקבלה. לחדותי לקראת כלה, בני שבת אקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לחדותי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לחדותי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
You may be seated. We'll welcome the angels of Shabbat, page 24. Shalom
And
Aleichem.
if you're looking for the angels of Shabbat, they're standing right behind us, so you can enjoy it.
Amen ve'amen.
שלום עליכם, מלאכי השרת, מלאכי עליון. ממלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. לכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. ממלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. ממלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. ממלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Our Baruch Hu, our call to worship, can be found on page 28, and as you're able, please rise.
Yai, lai, lai, yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai,
page 32 and 33, we have a prayer giving thanks to God for the gift of Torah, the gift of wisdom. And there's a teaching again relating to the first verse of this week's parashah that reminds us about how we can be a ner tamid. But it says that the oil that needs to be used to light that eternal flame, it needs to be pressed oil. And there's a teaching that there's something about the way we can bring Torah into the world that relates to that. Sometimes we have to ourselves be pressed. Sometimes we have to go through difficult times. And I've been reflecting on this moment that we find ourselves in as members of Am Yisrael, as people who love the Jewish people and love Medinat Yisrael and care so much for the values that we are put into this world to magnify and to bring into our hearts and minds. And maybe this is a moment where we really understand what it is to be that pressed oil. We understand that sometimes Torah requires sacrifice, and sometimes it requires some pain. But on the other side of that will be a light that grows even stronger. May this be the light that we bring into the world as we say the words of Shema Yisrael on the next page, 34 and 35. Let's think about the ways that we can bring the oneness of this light of Torah, into our homes, our community, and our world.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Can be seated. On page 39, a meditation before Michamocha, our prayer of liberation. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, Who is like you?
Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you, God, are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Third graders, thank you so much. You're going to come and sit with your teachers. I don't want to say that something changes between like elementary school and middle school, because middle schoolers are incredibly lovely and, why are you laughing? And lovable. But third grade is pretty perfect. That's all I was thinking as I was listening to them sing. Pretty perfect. Wow, thank you so much, third graders. We're going to continue with a prayer for healing, and you can find it on page 253 of your prayer book. I want to invite you joining from home. If you want to put the name of a loved one in the chat, please feel free to do so. If you here in our sanctuary want to say the name of someone that you're praying for, you can say that name aloud. You can just say it to yourself. You can think about someone who needs physical healing, someone who is going through an illness, someone who might be having a difficult time emotionally, and you are praying for their strength in that way. And please remember, whomever you're praying for, reach out to them after Shabbat and tell them that you were thinking of them. Tell them that you said a prayer for them. I know it'll make them feel supported and loved. And you can also say a prayer for yourself too. If you feel like you need to say a prayer for your own healing, now's the time for that as well. Refuat HaNefesh u'Refuat HaGuf.
Mi sheberach avoteinu mekor habracha leimoteinu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imoteinu mekor habracha. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Our Amidah prayer is traditionally said silently on Shabbat evenings. It begins on page 48. And I'm going to invite you, as you're able, to please rise. Those of you joining us from home, please stand right up along with us. And let's just take a little time to give thanks to God for some of the blessings of the week that passed. We can also maybe think about some of our intentions for the week to come. Take a few moments for silent reflection. As you're ready, you can be seated. We're going to offer a priestly benediction. And Candace, thank you so much for sharing this beautiful melody with us. And we can think about the way that we want prayers of peace and well-being and kindness for each other. And the text itself is based on verses from the book of Numbers, a 3,000-year-old blessing. And so, Candace, thank you for bringing this to us, and we can think about the way we want to shine forth this sentiment, not just to this community right here and everybody who's joining us, but really to all Israel and all the world.
יברכך השם וישמרך, יאר השם פניו אליך ויחונקה, יישא השם פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. אחד שאלתי מאת השם ואפול על פניי, אל תסדר פניך ממני ביום אקרנני. אמר השם עתיאז נחלי, הנערי ימי עפר קומי אורי. יכבון השם עלייך זרח, ברגע קטון עזבתיך, וברחמים גדולים אקצך. יברכך השם וישמרך, יאר השם פניו אליך ויחונקה, יישא השם פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. יברכך השם וישמרך, יאר השם פניו אליך ויחונקה, יישא השם פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. ותבוא בי הרוח ותעמידני על רגלי, אשמע את קול השם מדבר עליי.
Yafe, yafe, yafe. So we have extra blessing tonight, and third graders, I want you to pay close attention because we're going to bring up baby Penelope for her baby naming. And this was just 6, 7, 8 years ago. This was you, right? So come on up. And Penelope just celebrated her first birthday. So we're going to give her her Hebrew name tonight. We're not in as big of a rush with girls as we are with boys in our tradition. We have a little more time, and she just woke up from her nap. So we're here tonight, Penelope, to honor you and to welcome you into the house of Israel. We say, Baruch haba, blessed are those who come to celebrate with this new daughter of Israel. And these are words that, God willing, we will say someday under the chuppah when we gather together for your marriage celebration. Penelope, you're already such a blessing to your mom, Nicole, and your dad, Sam, and your brother, Charles. Are you excited to have a little sister? Yeah. You're such a blessing to your family and your extended family, and not just to them, but to all of us. I think you can look around the room and see all the smiles on the face of your community, and you are a blessing to the house of Israel, really now more than ever. Your parents have decided to give you a Hebrew name, so I'm going to give it to you now officially with a blessing, and then we'll say a word about your name. אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, קיים את הילדה הזאת לאביה ולאמה, ויקרא שמה בישראל, מאיה בת שמואל וחנה. Our God and God of our mothers and fathers, sustain this child and let her be known in the house of Israel as Maya, daughter of Shmuel v'Chana. May you bring much joy to your parents as you enter into the covenant of Abraham. May you enter into a life of Torah, the blessing of family life, and of ma'asim tovim, the practice of good deeds. And your parents chose this name for you, Maya, connected to Ma'ayan, flowing waters. You're born in February in the season of water. May you always be connected to the source of life, and may you always be a blessing to us all. And I'm just going to ask your parents to read this short blessing to you now.
We call unto the source of life in thanksgiving for the wonder of this gift of life. We are humbled by the blessings and responsibilities of parenthood and our participation in the miracle of creation. May we learn to love without smothering. May we learn to house without imprisoning. May we learn to give without imposing. May we learn to live today, that yesterday and tomorrow might find their own way in the world. Amen.
Amen. And we wish you Mazel Tov. Simin Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simin Tov, Simin Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simin Tov, Simin Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simin Tov. Yeilanu, 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 Ulecho Yisrael. Yeilanu, Yeilanu, Ulecho Yisrael. David melech Yisrael, Hay v'kayam. David melech Yisrael, Hay v'kayam. Mazal tov.
Mazal Tov, thank you so much. What a joy. What a joy to be able to celebrate our third graders and to celebrate you, Penelope. Wow. Well, I have a story prepared for you, replete with props. And third graders, at the end of the story, third graders, are you with me? Or did you wear yourselves out? You're with me. At the end of the story, I'm going to ask some questions, and you might want to share an answer or two. So just pay attention. But also, other folks can share an answer. And also, those of you joining from home, if you want to put an idea into the chat, that would be great. That way we can share your voice and hear your voice. So there's a story that's told about a very wealthy business person who had 3 children. 3 children. And he was preparing to step down from the day-to-day management of his company, and he thought very carefully, and this is a real-world situation, parents, you could think about this, grandparents. He thought very carefully about which of his 3 children should assume the leadership of his business. Sometimes that happens in family businesses. You got to figure these things out. So he decided to come up with a test to see which child was worthy, which child was ready. And he took his 3 children into a large room, kind of like this room, almost exactly this size actually, and the room was empty. There was nothing in the room. And he said to his children, now third graders, listen carefully. He said to his children, whomever can fill this room from top to bottom will inherit my business empire. And so his firstborn child, named Rachel, got to work immediately. She got bulldozers, she got earth-moving equipment just like we have right now outside as we're building our Aaron Milken Center. She got workmen with shovels, and she filled up bags and bags and bags. These are actually really heavy. Bags and bags and bags with earth. And she brought them in. Is there a chiropractor potentially here? And she brought them in to the room, and she filled them up, and it was heavy, back-breaking work. She worked day and night, and guess what? After hours and hours and hours, she still didn't manage to fill all the way up to the top because she got up pretty high, but then when she was climbing up this hill of dirt to try to add more dirt, she just couldn't do it. And so the father cleared the room of dirt and said to the next child, okay, it's your turn. And the second child was named Rafi, and he was given his chance. And he said, you know what, dirt's very heavy, but you know what's not so heavy? Paper. So he went and he got reams and reams and reams of paper. And he took the paper and he started stacking it up, one on top of another, on top of another, on top of another, but he ran out of time. He ran out of time. As much as he tried to build this giant warehouse of paper, he wasn't able to. And so the father cleared the room. And finally, it was the turn of the third child named Esther. She got her chance. And she seemed very relaxed. She didn't seem to be stressed about this at all. She just took it nice and easy, and she waited until nightfall. And the lights were dimmed in the room. And she came in. This is the lighting cue. The lights were dimmed. You see what's happening? Unbelievable. And she came into the room, and she lit a candle. And she lifted the candle up high, and guess what? The entire room was filled with light. And her father was beaming, and he looked at his daughter Esther and said, "You're hired. You inherit the empire." Now, this story relates to this week's Torah portion, Tetzaveh, the part that I mentioned earlier in our service. The first verse of this week's Torah portion, Ve'ata tetzaveh et bnei Yisrael, and this is God telling Moses, you should instruct the Israelite people, Vayikhu elecha shemen zayit zach katit lamaor laha'alot ner tamid. And you shall take this clear oil of pressed olives, that pressing process that I talked about a little bit earlier, in order to cause the light to go up always, a ner tamid, an eternal light. And this is our sacred task, to fill the world with our light, tamid, always, day by day, hour by hour, and moment by moment. And one of the great Hasidic masters, Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev, who was born in 1740, and he died in 1809. And he taught about this verse, this Ner Tamid, the eternal flame. He says, this really is a metaphor. It is not meant to be taken literally. Although we do light a literal candle, that's not how we're supposed to take it. It's a metaphor. What does it mean to be a Ner Tamid? That is to bring the light up, which represents our desire to get close to God. It expresses the pleasure and the satisfaction that God will realize when we come close to God, when we bring our light into the world. And that is one of the very real ways that we can bring about, and here's the question for you guys, you third graders, and really for everybody, that is one of the ways, according to our tradition, that we can live the mitzvah ve'ahavta et Adonai. You shall love the eternal your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your being. We can bring light into the world, and that's how we love God. And so third graders, and Andre's going to help me here, third graders, I'm going to ask you for examples of how you can bring light into the world. And I see some of you have been thinking about this, and you already have some ideas. I'm going to ask you how you can bring light into the world, and you can share it with our entire congregation. And with the help of Andre, we are going to broadcast this all over the world. So you're going to tell me how you can bring light into the world. What's a way that you can bring light into the world?
By being kind to my family.
By being kind to your family. That is beautiful. Amen. What is a way you can bring light into the world?
By giving everyone electricity so they have light.
Oh, there you go. If we could get electricity all over the world, and that's not a trivial thing. If we could make sure everybody had the benefit of electricity, they could have light. That's exactly right. How would you do it?
I would say prayers every night and not litter.
Okay, I like the way you put those two things together. Say prayers every night and also don't litter. Okay, let's hear it from some more voices. Yeah, how would you do it?
Respect each other and be kind.
Respect each other and be kind. Listen to these prayers. This is beautiful. Let's go to the third row here. How would you do it?
Always forgive people and always give them a chance.
Forgive people and give them a chance. So many good ideas. Yeah.
Always throw your trash in trash bins and always say please and thank you.
Trash and trash bins. Please, are people taking notes, by the way? Because so many of things, if we could just do these things, we would be dialed in for good. Yes, how would you do it?
Good deeds and kindness.
Oh my God, good deeds and kindness. Now, question, are there any, I'm Phil Donahueing it right now. Is there anybody who remembers Phil Donahue? Thank you so much. Are there any grown-ups who want to add maybe something you would want us to do to make the world a better place? And we have the Steadicam right here. You too will be broadcast around the world. Who's a brave grown-up who wants to tell us a way that you would bring light into the world? Don't be shy. Andy Sipes, how would you bring light into the world?
When there's a mitzvah to be done, don't wait, don't walk, but run to do it.
Run to do the mitzvah. I love that. One more grown-up. We need one more grown-up right over here, sir. One more grown-up. Andre, stick with me. How would you bring light into the world?
Giving respect to everyone.
Respect to everyone. Let's have a silent round of applause for everybody. Thank you so much. I am so grateful, and thank you, Andre, for your help, and thank you, everybody. Thank you, third graders, for all of your beautiful ideas. There are so many ways that we can bring light into the world. There are so many ways that we can be a ner tamid, that we can be that light. And again, the beautiful thing about it all is that it's tamid. It's something we're supposed to do not one time, not once a week, but every single day throughout our lives. Thank you, everybody. We're going to say a prayer for our nation, and I'm going to ask you to join me on page 258. And not only are we supposed to say these words, but we are supposed to think about how we can live these words. So I'm going to ask you to join me on the bottom of page 258 and think about how we can do this together as citizens, as members of our community, ways we can make these words come into being. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit as we say Amen. We're going to say a prayer for our captives. You can find some of the photos of some of our loved ones that we're praying for on the handout on the way in, and then on the back side of the handout there are the words to our Achenu, Achotenu prayer. We want to ask you to join with us as we continue to pray. More than 20 Shabbatot have passed, 140 days, and may this be the last Shabbat that we ever have to say these words. But if we have to say them again next week, then we will, because that's what we do for people we love.
Achenu, our brothers, Achenu,
Elkanah Bobat,
Achotenu, our sisters, Achotenu,
Rom Braslavsky,
Achenu, our brothers, Achenu,
Yagev Buchstav,
Achotenu, our sisters, Achotenu,
Esther Amit Buskila,
wherever you are, whatever we must do, we are always, always there with you. We are with you. Our
our brothers, Achenu. We are with you, our sisters, Achotenu. From the darkness to the light, we are
From
with
the darkness to the light.
you. We are with
From the
you.
darkness to the light. Make everything all right.
We are
From the
with you.
darkness to the light.
We are
From
with
the
you.
darkness to the light.
We are with
From the
you.
darkness to the light. Make everything all right. We are with you.
From darkness to light, we think about some of the sorrows that we carry, and we also think about some of the joys that we get to express. And I want to invite anybody who has a special and joyous occasion to maybe share it with us. Does anyone have a birthday this week? Is it birthday week for anybody? Happy birthday. Stand up. Who else has something good? A birthday. A birthday? Yes? Happy birthday. Stay standing because we're all going to end up standing. What do you have? Stand up. 11 years. Stand up. My goodness. What do you have? 12-year anniversary. Fantastic. What do we have back here? Happy birthday. If you have something joyous, put it in the chat. I want to do a shout out. Joining us from home, Dee Dee and Carl Sussman. They have a big wedding anniversary. I think it's
50.
50 years married. My goodness. To 50 more. That's a good start. Let's all stand and let's invite our amazing room parents, pardon me, Aaron Naimi and Netta Shack. If you could come up and grab some of our sweet juice. It's just juice, but come on up. We'll offer you some wine a little bit later. Thank you for everything you do to help make our third grade so fabulous. And let's join together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotov v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ava uvratzon hinchid lanu, zikaron lemase v'reishit, ki hu yom techila למקראי קודש, זכר לציון מצרים. כי באנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashavat l'chaim.
Well, if you are a third grader, we're going to invite you to go back to your parents, please. And if you are under third grade, let's say you're in second grade, or first grade, kindergarten, maybe you're in Aaron Milken Center. So if you are under third grade, you get to come up on the bima with me and Ruby and help us open the ark doors on page 282 for Aleinu L'Shabeach.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני
It seemed like a good idea to bring all those folks up, and I was going to stand by that idea. And it was a great idea to grab Gwynnie from her grandmother. Well, you can all be seated. And we're going to turn in our prayer book to page 294. Page 294. Because even as we celebrate those joyous moments, and we think about all of those dichotomies of praying for health, but also giving thanks for the gift of life with a baby naming, we also take a moment to recall loved ones whom we are remembering. And so if you are remembering someone and you are in a period of Shiva or Shloshim, the first 7 or 30 days of remembrance, I'll ask you to please rise and you can say that person's name aloud. And if you're joining us from home and you want to say the name of a loved one, put it in the chat. Feel free to do so. Thank you. If this is the first year of mourning, if you're in that year of Shana, you can stand up and you can say the person's name aloud if you like. Same thing, you can put it in the chat if you want. Thank you. Thank you. And if this is the yahrzeit of a loved one, you can stand and you can say that person's name aloud. You can put the name in the chat. And we'll invite everybody to stand in solidarity with our mourners as on page 294, we give thanks to God for the very gift of life that we so miss and that we so long for at moments like these. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, bi'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'alam ulamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudashah barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who makes peace in the high places make peace for us and all Israel and all humanity. And we say together, amen. We're going to conclude with Oseh Shalom. You can stay standing if you like, and we'll sing these words together. Cantor, we're so grateful for our third graders. Were they unbelievable?
And our band and Candace, all of the beautiful music and your wonderful story.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tali, and thank you, Jeff and Larry and Yaron. We're grateful to everybody, our amazing crew. Thanks for helping to make it possible for this to be spread out into the world. Our Y School administrative team and our Y School third grade teachers, third graders. After services, you're going to go next door to ZH for Shabbat dinner, and everybody else, please come into the lobby so we can wish you Shabbat Shalom.
Stay with your parents.
We can have a cookie together. Let's conclude with these words of Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom. Shalom, uyaseh, 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 shalom, uyaseh, 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 shalom, aleinu. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Be from up. Oh, say shalom. Be from up. Uyaseh, 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 shalom. Uyaseh, uyaseh, uyaseh. ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu. Last time. 1, 2, 3, 4. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Thank you.